All right, you guys. This your boy back at y'all with another one as we continue on with being our greatest self, holding ourselves accountable. And this particular video, we're going to talk about your greatest enemy and your greatest hero are one of the same. And as I think about this particular topic, a lot of things come to mind as to who you are as an individual, what principles, what values you have. How can you become your greatest self? How can you fulfill your potential in life? Have you identified the potential and the talents that you have in life? Have you identified the obstacles that prevent you or can hinder your greatness, right? And you got to be careful about what you tell yourself. Hey, shout out to Stephanie Dews in the building. You got to be careful of what you say to yourself, right? That could be, I believe, one of the greatest detriments to your success. It could be one of your greatest, it could be one of the greatest detriments to your greatness, right? And you cannot have people believing in you bigger than you believing in yourself. And we're going to talk about some factors that you could be your own worst enemy. Right? Now we talk about self-improvement. We talk from a physical, financial, mental aspect, right? Because it's one thing to have enemies that you can see, right? Person that you encounter at work, a person that that might have been an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend or what have you, a family member, right? You call them enemies, but what have you ever considered about you being your own greatest enemy, right? You could be your own hindrance to happiness or success. And there's different reasons why that is. And we're going to examine the different reasons why you are your greatest enemy. And I'm saying this as not to talk at anybody or to try to wag my finger at somebody, because as I'm talking about this in real time, I'm speaking to myself as well. So before I get into some factors about you being your own greatest enemy, do not make the mistake in thinking that I'm wagging my finger at you or I'm talking at you. Do not confuse the two. I'm putting out these videos in real time because I'm also speaking to myself. I'm speaking at myself as to why I'm not at a level in life I should be at, whether it be through impulsive behavior, bad decisions, associated with bad people, things like that. All right, now as we continue on, no changes. And this is what I always talk about when it comes to basketball. Like, for example, right? James Harden, for years, has wanted the Houston Rockets to bring a championship around him, put a championship team around him. So whether it be through coaching, player changes, changes within the organization, whatever. So everything around James Harden has changed, but him. He did not change his game at all. He didn't change how he approached the game, how he dribbled, how he, associated with his teammates. He didn't change none of that. And as a result, they keep getting the same result year after year after year. And they keep doing the same thing year after year after year. That's insane. So, reason number one, know the change. People who feel down about themselves are usually the kind of people who don't embrace change in life. The world around them is constantly changing, but they don't change. They don't accept the change, and they don't adapt to the change. They're basically comfortable in their own skin. They're in a comfort zone. Now, there's nothing wrong with someone being comfortable in their own skin. But when things around you change, you need to react to it in a positive manner. You cannot call yourself wagging your finger at somebody, right? But yet you don't change your behavior, because maybe your behavior is a contributing factor to how the other person's reacting. So you can't just constantly complain to somebody about this, that, the third, and yet they make the change. And then when they say the same thing about you, you don't change. That's bullshit. What's up, TJ? Salute to you, my brother. Resisting change in certain aspects of your life can lead to stagnation. Another reason why you could be your greatest enemy is you put yourself down. You tell yourself, well, maybe I just don't look good enough for her. Or maybe I'm just not qualified to, have this job. Or maybe, I just feel like I don't have any kind of self-worth. Whatever you tell yourself is the truth. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Whatever you tell yourself is the truth, right? Not believing in yourself can create doubts. The belief that you can't do something, or even more successfully than the other person around you, is the reason one could consider their own self-worst enemy. The kind of person who will tell themselves they can't do something and it's impossible might be their own enemy. This person start to feel down about themselves because they don't want to try before telling themselves or whatever, right? These type of people can fail by not doing nothing rather than take the risk of doing something, wherever the outcome. You can't not do anything. That's why I keep telling ourselves, look, no matter what the situation is, you got to get up. You got to get up. You got to get out there, and you got to go get it. Nobody's going to give it to you. If you put your hand out there, they might chop it off, or they might spit on it. All right? Suit to J-Dog in the building. What's up, man? Y'all go subscribe to J-Dog FBA. Good channel. Right? Another reason why you're your own worst enemy, right? Depending on others. Look, it's one thing to ask for help, right? And I always tell people, look, don't be too proud to ask for help, right? But depending on somebody to get you out your situation is a false sense of security. You should not have to depend on anybody for your greatness. It's one thing to ask for help. It's not, it's one thing to, get advice. I mean, all that's great, because we all need advice. We all need help in one way or another. But you should not have to rely on somebody to get you out your situation, because you got yourself in the situation. The only person that can get you out of it is you, period. Not only that, if you come too dependent on somebody, then you lack the creative G's necessary to help you get you out your situation. Feelings of anxiety, worrying too much about the future, the fear of the unknown. You constantly worrying about this, constantly worrying about that. You worrying about everything else around you, right? Constant worry makes life unhappy for themselves and others around them. If we worry about situations or events too much, it can lead to depression. Anxiety can cause unhappiness and be in a state that make you question life decisions. Another reason you could potentially be your greatest enemy, you trust others more than you trust yourself. You always second guessing. You're always, doing the hokey pokey in the game of life instead of standing 10 toes down, firm in what you believe in. Example of that, you play daily fantasy football or you play daily fantasy basketball, right? You do your research, you make a play, right? You make a play based on your own research, based on your observations, right? You listen to a podcast, you look at an article, they're saying, oh, I don't recommend this play. So you take out that play, you play somebody else who they recommend, right? The player you took out, he goes off, has 3 touchdowns, or this player in basketball, had like 45 fantasy points and he only cost like $3,500 or whatever like that. And the player you took out has an awesome day. The player you put in, right? You playing daily fantasy football, the player you put in, loses 2 fumbles, or he has a drop, or he gets injured. And then in basketball, the guy shot 3 for 20, only has 6 points, had 5 fouls. He didn't play no more than 10 minutes. And then you left questioning yourself. Trust yourself. You should not have to rely on people to trust you more than you trust yourself. Go with it. You ever heard that old adage, going with your gut? Go with your gut. There's nothing wrong with you going with your gut. Instincts. Trust your instincts, right? It normally leads you down the path, the right path, if I might add it, right? So trust yourself. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you trusting yourself. If you're wrong, then you're wrong. Which leads to another thing before we go on to the next reason, right? Being afraid to fail. There's too many times in our society where if you're afraid to fail, you get looked at if you fail, you get looked at in a negative light, right? And what I mean by that is, we look at the wealthiest people in America. We look at, prominent actors and athletes or what have you, right? You look at their Twitter following. They got millions of Twitter followers. They got millions of YouTube subscribers, right? But they don't see the failures. They don't, like, for example, right? When we talk about LeBron James, right? LeBron James is a hotly contested topic, right? We talk about him in relation to his greatness with Michael Jordan. We look at him as he is the greatest player of the day, this thing and the next thing, right? What they talk about more often than not, they talk about his success as a basketball player, his longevity, right? Yeah, they might talk about his 6 finals losses, right? But they don't talk about all the missed shots he take, right? I mean, no, a few people do it, but to the general public, a lot of people don't talk about the missed shots that he's taken. They don't talk about, the failures he endured on his way to becoming an NBA player and one of the great all-time NBA players, right? They don't talk about none of that. They just talk about his 4 NBA Finals wins. They look at his status, perennial All-Star, first ballot Hall of Famer, right? But they don't look at the other stuff. They don't look at the stuff that it took for him to get there. Because the one thing about LeBron James, one thing about these prominent athletes and actors and actresses and and celebrities or what have you, right? They all have a belief in themselves. They all trust themselves. They go with their gut. They follow their intuition. Hell, when you women out there, suspect your man cheating you, what the first thing you have? The first thing you have is an intuition, right? So you go with your gut, right? Hey, Jalen, what's up? Good to see you. Next reason, projecting negativity, right? And this is what I always go to tell people, don't go through your life trying to charge dead batteries. It's going to drain your energy. You draining your energy trying to charge them up, and all this, and all they're going to do is waste the energy that you put into them. So don't waste your life charging dead batteries. Shout out to Terrain Milton in the building. A long time no see. Salute to you. Good to see you. Projecting negativity, right? Because we all are dominated by our thoughts. Person who projects themselves too negatively, a person who projects themselves with too much negativity can begin to dislike themselves through their actions. There are instances in life that not everyone falls into place by letting negativity overtake them and cause more unhappiness. Focusing on changing negative emotions into positivity is a sustainable way to live. Some people don't know how to overcome the negative encounters of life and change their view to positive. If being negative is what you view life, then it could have a higher tendency that you can have a negative oriented life. Next reason why you could potentially be your greatest enemy: caring too much about other people's opinions. And this is another thing, right? That I always say, right? When we try to be our greatest self, right? We're trying to unleash our potential on life, and we're trying to hold ourselves accountable for our own actions, for our own deeds and whatever like that. You can't be worried about what this, that, and the third say, right? Because this, that, and the third ain't got to carry your burden. So why the fuck should you worry about what this, that, and the third got to say? This is a balancing act. Life is a balancing act. You have to balance, your time, your money, your energy, your ambitions, all that. It's a balancing act. And if you care too much about what this person said, and if you care too much about what that person said, and you care too much what it said, where's your principle at? Do you have one? Or do you rely on other people's opinion for your principle? No, you need to create your own principle. You need to stand on your own 10 toes and walk on your own 10 toes. Stop worrying about what this person's saying, how this person feel if you don't do this, that, and third. They don't gotta fucking carry your burden. When you look in the mirror at night, whether you get up before you wash your ass or before you go to bed at night, wherever the case may be, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and you got to be satisfied with what you did. You got to be satisfied with what you said. Fuck everybody else. Because when you're successful, they're the first ones to jump on board your ship, and then when you hit rock bottom, they're the first ones to jump off. So don't worry about what they say. Look, if they weren't at the rehearsal, they can't come to the concert. I'm gonna repeat myself. If they weren't at the rehearsal, they cannot come to the concert. Next reason, second to last reason why you could be your greatest enemy: playing it safe. You only get one life. What are you playing it safe for? Huh? What are you playing it safe for? Oh, we got to have something to fall back on. Fall back on to what? When you cut people off, if you cut, whether it be your friends, family, whatever, right? When you cut them off all together, right? And you start a new relationship. If that relationship don't work, you're going to fall back to the person that you got your ass in the situation you're in before? No. So stop playing it safe. Stop having all these plan B's and C's and D's and E's and F's and G's and shit. They don't make these are the type of people who make sustained effort, who don't make sustained effort because they don't want to take the risks associated with decisions. They play it safe with life and take whatever is offered in front of them. They choose not to engage with others that can lead to enhancement with their life through competition. They are content with what they have at the moment and let life do the changes for them. This way can be a way to feel more secure in the short term, but if things occur that are unexpected, this could lead to regret. Not pushing harder at different points in their life can force them to accept undesirable situations later. They have to let their negativity cause them to become their own worst enemy by refusing to engage and push to fulfill their potential. And the last reason why someone can become their own worst enemy, you waiting for life to happen. You waiting for that special someone to come into your life, and and whether it be, whatever the case may be, right? You waiting for that special someone to give you that orgasm and all that. And I find the dick of life if I was a woman, right? You waiting for that new job to come about, right? You waiting for that new job that's going to pay you $250,000 a year, and I'm going to have a new lease on life, right? But you don't change your habits. You don't change the way you think. People who wait for things to happen in their own lives are not motivated enough. They delay solving problems. They wait for outside inspirations. They're the type of people who might not regard themselves as successful. If no one motivates you or inspires you, then be the one to be the inspiration for yourself and for other people. Motivate yourself to accomplish the things that you think are challenging to pursue. And whether it be climbing a building like those guys did at the Capitol, like they did on Wednesday when they were auditioning for American Ninja Warrior, or the rebirth of American Gladiators, or whatever, right? Sitting back and letting life occur around you can cause people to view themselves in a negative way. Being proactive and finding your own path. Find your own path to life. There's nothing wrong with you finding your own path to life, right? There's nothing wrong with you cutting off that safety net, taking Tannerite to that bridge, and finding your own path. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you failing. Our greatest success comes through our greatest failures. Our greatest heights coming from hitting rock bottom. You made the decisions that got you in the position you are in life. Now it's up to you to make decisions that's going to get you out of the situation. All I'm saying is you have to inspire yourself to be great. You shouldn't have to rely on, this person or that quote or some book, right? And this leads to another thing, right? Because this is the thing. This is another thing. What you put in your mind is what's going to come out your mouth. And I know for me, I got to do a better job of, at least reading something, right? Read a book. Read something that's going to inspire you to be your greatest self, right? What's up, Deanna G. Wilburn? What's going on with you? What's up, Unique Dawn? Salute to the Queen Unique Dawn in the building, right? Don't be afraid to be different. No, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to, uplift and edify the people that have made a positive impact on your life, right? That's why I always shout out my brother Ticket. You know what I'm saying? That dude even had to reach out to me and help me grow my channel. He didn't have to do that. He got all the time and energy to do all this other stuff, right? Yeah, he could very well did his own thing, and you know what? I make it do what it do, right? That dude reached out to me, and and he helped me grow my channel. That's why if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have 800 subscribers right now. I probably will only have probably 1 or 200, if that. That's why I always shout my brother out, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. Right? And I'm always going to defend and stand up for my brother. You know what I'm saying? Now, that don't mean, I agree with him on everything. That don't mean that I sit up here and jockstrap sniff and dick ride him. And a lot of you guys out there don't understand the difference. That's why y'all say ignorant comments like that. But at the same time, you got to be thankful of the people who is a instrument to your success. You can never forget about the people who's an instrument to your success. You always got to show love, respect to the people who's paved the way for you. Right? I'm gonna open up the chat line. You guys want to come in and you want to talk about whatever you want. We sitting here talking about our greatest enemy and our greatest hero, right? So I put a link in the chat. If you guys want to come in, we'll chop it up. We'll talk about we fellowshipping here today. I think it's important that we become our greatest self, right? You can't be lying on your deathbed and the ghosts of your talents surround you and they're disappointed. They're angry at you for why you didn't utilize the talents, right? And, the more I think about this, the more I'm talking this out loud, the more I'm going to start this cooking channel. Now, look, there's millions of cooking videos out there on YouTube. Millions upon millions upon millions of videos, right? But why not me? Why can't I start my cooking channel? Why can I not show you how to make a Philly cheesesteak or whatever like that, right? Or or a rib roast, right? For a lot of you, of course, I'll diversify with because I know a lot of people out there don't eat meat. Now, me, I look, I gotta have a dead animal on my plate, okay? But I know a lot of other people out there that don't like dead animals on their plate, right? And that's fine. We'll make videos for them too, whether it be veggie pizzas. I'm gonna tell you right now, for all you vegetarians out there, I ain't making no veggie burger. You can kick rocks on that. But a veggie pizza, yeah, I'll make a veggie pizza. Yeah, we'll make that all day, right? But yeah, we'll go through the process together, right? Why not? Right? Why not? Why not? A lot of people is like, why me? And I'm like, why not you? Why not you? So I hope what I said today inspired someone out there who might be watching this video who might be watching this video later on or whatever, right? And hopefully this particular video will enable you to get out whatever funk you might be in. And get yourself on a path to greatness. Remember, you only get one life, right? We have 24 hours in a day. Everybody gets 24 hours. Now, what you do in those 24 hours will either take you towards your destiny or away from your destiny. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, man. This your boy. Scream at me. Hey!